Hey, this is Shifting Perspectives, and this is Daniel. And today, what came up was why is it so hard to stay on track with the things that we want to stay on track with? Why is it so hard to stop eating crappy food? Well, why do I keep justifying? Why do I do so well and then sabotage everything? Why don't I exercise more than I do? Or why don't I fill in the blank more than I do? So all very good questions. And for some people, there may be a little bit different answers, and I can feel a little bit different answers for each one of those questions. But it all kind of comes down to a couple core things, and I'll talk about those. So why can't I stay on track? Well, if you think about it, as the reason why you can't stay on track was something that is better for you. Why don't I exercise or eat more, eat better, or stop beating my kids? uh, it may be good for you, but your mind doesn't really think about what's good for you. So there's this thing going on where you know inside that it's good for you. Why don't I do something that's good? Why don't I stop drinking, smoking, shooting up, whatever the thing is? You know it's not good for you, but that doesn't matter to your mind, and your mind is the one that's in charge. So stop blaming it on you, the person. It's really your mind and the chemical processes that have been created way back when that thing was needed, when that coping mechanism of that thing was needed. I'm reading Russell Brand's book about it's called Recovery, and it was really cool. He was like, I finally realized that my problem wasn't addiction. My present problem wasn't alcohol and drugs and sex and all these things. That wasn't the problem. The problem was the emotional trauma that happened and how that affected me. That's the problem. So when we look at, we've got these addictions or we've got these things that can't get by, that's not really the problem. And what creates more of a problem is we have these things that we'd like to have less of or some more of in terms of maybe it's an addiction or something. It's how it makes us feel. You know, if I if I'm eating really well, I'm juicing or I'm fasting or something, and all of a sudden I get a hankering for a pizza and a beer, I know that's not good for me, but there's a chemical process that goes, treat yourself. You deserve it. You've worked so hard. But once I do it, that's the problem, is that I feel guilt. And that is the core of the problem right there. How it's making me feel. It's making me feel guilt. So switch around how you normally look at this thing, is that we normally do things and then we feel guilt. Actually, we feel guilt, and so we do these things. Check into that. So we feel guilt, we identify with guilt, and so we do things that build that up, that shore that up, that connect with that. That's a trippy little flip there. So it's again, it's not that we do things and I feel guilty. How can I stop feeling guilty? Or how can I stop doing these things? Stop identifying with the guilt. So it's not about stopping to smoking the cigarettes or drinking the alcohol or having these addictions. It's dealing what caused the thing in the first place. Where did the guilt come from? Because if you always identify with guilt and shame, you're going to get that, whatever, fill in the blank. You're going to do that thing so that it just keeps on incorporating more guilt into your life. And you go, oh, that's who I am. I just feel guilty when I do that. And then you've got that identity with it again. So it's really like just building up that identity with the guilt or the shame or the whatever the thing is. And so we do things to prop that up. So, but let's take each one of these separately and just look at them. Why is it so hard to stop eating crappy food? That's designed. It's designed in the food to get you to eat it, to get you addicted to it, to get the right. I mean, that's why they sometimes have scientists that are on the team to make those chips or make those Fritos or whatever, because it's got the right kind of oils, the right kind of ingredients that actually speak to your brain to cause you to want more of them. It's all in the design. So just realize that it's not you that is the problem. It's just a chemical process that says more of that, more of that. And then on top of that, there's probably an emotional piece in there that says, this reminds me of when I was 8 and we used to sit around the pool after swimming all day and we'd have Fritos and tuna fish sandwiches and Kool-Aid. So that sugar and the chips and all the salt in the chips, that brings you back to that place. So the process to come out of that is to replace that with something else that also makes you feel good, but doesn't hit that kind of addictive button, that coping mechanism button. Why do I keep justifying? That's the mind again. So when I was in the Navy, most people had, smoked some kind of, some amount of cigarettes, because you stand a watch for 4 hours, you're by yourself, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, or you're outside and it's cold, and smoking a cigarette kind of feels comforting, and all the other guys are having a smoke, and there's this camaraderie thing that you do when you have a cigarette. You're shining your shoes or cleaning your clothes outside, and everybody, okay, you get a smoke break, and everybody smokes a cigarette. So that starts to play into, okay, you deserve this. You deserve this. Even though it's bad for you, you deserve it. So you guys have done so good today, marching on that field or doing those drills. Smoke break. And it just gets into your mind that that's a reward. And you have sex and you have a cigarette after that. Oh, wow, good job. So it's just a form of reward. Oh, we celebrate someone's birth or death or whatever when everybody drinks. It's just it's a reward type of thing. So it's just this, you've done a really good job, and so you're justified to just sabotage everything by having this one thing. It's not going to kill you. And I agree, and on one end of that, it's not going to kill you. And, to have some delicious food and a glass of wine, not a problem. I'm talking about when it gets to be a problem. I'm talking about when it develops so much guilt and shame that it's a problem. So why do I do so well and then sabotage everything? It's a similar thing where, at least for me, like I'll be doing really well, and my mind will start to go, man, a honey bun would be really good right now. And I'll know, man, that would completely trash me. Like my system would just freak out with all that sugar. But it's that old feeling of being freaked out by sugar and being launched into this sugar rush. And I know that sugar rush. I did it almost every morning when I went to high school. I'd have a hot chocolate and a honey bun for breakfast, and a burrito and a Coke for lunch. And it just, takes me back to that time. And although not all those times of that high school time were great, it still kind of brings me back to a time where I had less responsibilities. All those old kind of memories kind of come up. And it's those foods that hit those little buttons. The other thing that happens with the sabotage thing is, as a person that's always developing themselves in inner work and process and helping other people process, you're always in tune with how you're doing and that kind of thing. And there's this thought that, doing enough work keeps me more and more clear and in integrity. And how far can I go? Like, how enlightened can I become? And then I think there's this little thing inside my brain that says, well, be careful going too high, because it's going to cause you to be like, what if you became super enlightened and then you were like an anomaly in the world, and now all these people signed you up for millions of dollars, and you had to go out into the world and do all these talks and workshops, and your life completely changed. It's just like that kind of role of thought that just gets carried away, like, oh my gosh, it brings in this fear of, What's the worst thing that can happen through your enlightenment? So, best way to get control of that, eat a honey bun or eat some Skittles or go get a burger and a beer. And okay, this feels much more like doable. You know this place down here. So that's something that I'm aware of in myself, is that um, if I do decide to go get that burger and beer or that honey bun or whatever, it's not very often, but when it does happen, I enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy the chocolate cake and I don't feel guilty about it. So when I'm in it and I'm eating whatever that thing is, I'm just, this is so delicious. This is so good. And then I know, wow, I don't feel good. I go, okay, but that was good. So I stay in that it was delicious for me. And thereby I negate any um, emotional cause negative effects on my body. So imagine that there's one part of me that goes, oh, I really deserve this chocolate cake. I eat and while I'm eating the chocolate cake, I'm hating, oh, this is so terrible for me. It's the, oh, this is going to trash me. I might as well just not waste the money. I spent $6 on this cake, so I'm going to eat it. And then I get done. I go, oh, I'm such an idiot. And all that stuff is like even more than the cake did. It's that emotional damage that was done. So what I do is that if I decide that I'm going to have something like that, I just enjoy it. And I just kind of rub my belly. Okay, body, do your thing, process that. And I love you. And, that's it. Let's see. Why don't I exercise more than I do? For me, there's different excuses that come up. The gym is 25 miles away, and I can only really go there when I'm in town. I just had surgery. I've got all kinds of excuses that come up. But what really works for me is that when I put it on my calendar on my phone, that it's something that's scheduled, and that really helps me out. So I'll go through my calendar, and even though I've got a pretty full calendar, I'll block out an hour or to an hour and a half. That's all I need. Really, all I need is 20 minutes. But travel there and travel back. So if I'm in town and I'm 10 minutes away from the gym, I can drive 10 minutes, work out for 20 minutes, and drive back 10 minutes. So that's really only 40 minutes. So I can block off 40 minutes out of my day, if I'm in town doing that. So I just have to be real with myself. I don't need 2 hours to work out. I don't even know what to do in that time. So getting really honest with myself, just go there and have fun. And what I feel about it is, don't do anything that you're not excited about. But once you get more excited about working out or exercising more than you're excited about being fat and out of shape, I'm kind of being funny here, but it's kind of the truth. Once you get more disgusted with how out of shape you are, that it drives you to have fun and work out and to exercise. Don't do anything out of an obligation. That's something that you have to do. That's meditation included. But what I choose to do is that, wow, it feels really good to do that elliptical thing. And I'm watching this video of Yosemite or something, or it feels good to feel my muscles get pumped up and that kind of thing. So there's a part of it that I really tap into, the actual doing of it. That's what I want to tap into, that I feel it's fun to do that stuff. But if I say that I need to do this because I need to lose weight or I need to get built up or build up my muscle, that doesn't really motivate me. What motivates me nowadays is doing what's exciting to me. So again, when it's more exciting to you to do this kind of exercise than it is to keep complaining about yourself, then that's, you just kind of move into that and go, okay, what's really exciting? And I don't have any structured workout too much. I know sometimes I'll do all arms and chest on the same day. And I know that's probably wrong, but that's what I'm excited about doing. It's like it's the machines that that are the most fun to me. And that's why I keep on going. And I know that I'm not going to be there forever. And that's why I just continue to do it. So that really helps me out. So why don't I blank more than I do? And really the core reason why we don't do something that is good for us, good for our health, or good for our mind, or good for our soul, a lot of times that we're not doing this stuff because of lack of self-worth. So if we all had more feelings of self-worth, or actually just dump the whole idea of self-worth altogether, that's not even a real concept, that's even better. But if we start out with having healthy self-worth, then we would feel so good about doing this stuff, and we would do anything that was feeling really good to us, that felt really exciting and felt lively to us. But if we have lack of self-worth, then it's really hard to engage in that. So um, I feel like it's kind of a challenge to, if you don't have the self-worth and you're not feeling good about your body, you've kind of gained some weight and that kind of thing, it's hard to go into working out and just watch your overweight, out of shape body do the workout and feel good about yourself, unless you feel like every little step is good for you. The one thing that has really helped me to kind of get a little a launch into that is now I've never been really overweight, but I'm normally a skinny guy. And for me to be, 14, 15 pounds overweight, I can see the difference. But the thing that really helped me is to do fasting and cleansing. I really feel like, to clear out the cobwebs of lack of self-worth and lack of self-love and all the mind stuff that actually gets in the way of all the stuff that I'm talking about right now, it's the fasting and the cleansing that can help rid you of that. So what happens when you fast and you cleanse, it gives you your sovereignty of your body and your mind again. I'm in charge. This is what I'm choosing to do. And it's not a reactive process, chemical process that says, give me that donut again. And when you start to do these fastings and cleanses, it kind of sucks your body of those chemicals and desires, and it causes you to kind of come into yourself more. Not to mention, you're going to lose some weight, and you're going to feel more svelte, more in shape, more just a little bit lighter, and then more inclined probably to go to the gym or go ride a bicycle or something. So I'm not saying to use fasting and cleansing as a way just to lose weight and you're going to just not eat anything. I'm to do intermittent fasting where you eat from 11 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Do intermittent water fasting where you drink just water all the way up until noon or 1 o'clock, and then eat some vegan or vegetarian something to fill you up, and see how you feel after that. It's just getting into that, finding your body again. So that's kind of what I want to say about that. And I hope that helps. And please don't take what I said as the sole thing. These are all little pieces and parts of why we don't do the things that are good for us. So thank you so much. I love you, bless you, and see you next time.